What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my Black Sabbath collection. Now I know that a lot of Sabbath fans have got a massive, bigger collection of Black Sabbath, and I gotta say mad love and respect to these people because their collections are outstanding and even better than mine. But I am getting there. I thought I would show you guys what I have got for, in my opinion, the greatest heavy metal band of all time in my collection. There's going to be the display of the CDs that I have got to the records that I have and some other stuff. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's go to the studio albums first. And by the way, guys, I don't have the Devil You Know album by Heaven and Hell because there are some people that see it as a Black Sabbath album. I, in my opinion, don't, but I'll get it nonetheless. So, as I've just said, let's go through these albums. The first one is the debut album. The first 8 Sabbath albums are through the Sanctuary Records re-releases. Here's Paranoid. Love how they would do their own replication of these types of releases. Now this one takes me right back. I was working for work experience when I was 15, when Kerrang radio station used to be in Birmingham, and I worked with Johnny Doom, and over time he gave me a random pile of CDs, some of them that are promotional ones and yet to be released, some singles as well, and this is one of them. So this is the promotional yet to be released at the time digipack of Black Sabbath's Master of Reality. The first disc is obviously the album itself. Sorry for the extreme brightness with the light reflections. And the second disc is the previously unreleased tracks and instrumental versions. So this was one of the first items that I have ever got when I was really getting into some more metal music. Volume 4. The Stoned Cocaine Classic album. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, with one of the coolest and best artworks. And my personal favourite Black Sabbath album, Sabotage. As many of you guys know that I did 2 separate album rankings. Paranoid was number 1 at first, but when I did my re-ranking, this album went to number 1. Absolutely still one of my top 5 albums of all time. Then we have Technical Ecstasy, which is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated Black Sabbath albums. Not a classic, but I really do like a lot of this album. Never Say Die, which some fans see this as a favourite of theirs. Again, not a classic, but some people see it as a better album than Technical Ecstasy, which I wholeheartedly disagree. But this album took me a lot of appreciation to like it and accept it. Heaven and Hell. What more can you really say about this album that hasn't been said already? Many people cite this as a classic, and this is one of my top 10 albums of the 1980s period. Mob Rules. And these later CDs, by the way, are from the same record label, Sanctuary Records, with these beautiful, phenomenal remasters. Born Again. Now, annoyingly, when I was playing this album, some of the later tracks kept skipping, so I may have to buy another CD copy of this. But I am going to be buying the deluxe edition of this album soon. 7 Star, which is very underappreciated. Very different, but highly enjoyable. The Tony Martin period. The Eternal Idol, which I absolutely love. This is my personal favourite album from the Tony Martin period of Black Sabbath. Headless Cross. So, just like with the Born Again CD, I was listening to this, but then there was some kind of annoying clicking sound that has been on repeat, that it was ruining the listening experience, so I may have to purchase another CD of this. It was just some aggravating sound that I can't get a hold of, and it did ruin my enjoyment of this album. But nevertheless, great album. Sorry, my mobile's going off there. Tia, which is one of my most favourites. I bought this CD on Amazon, by the way, and I don't know why that sticker's placed at the back. That's really annoying. But this is an album that I have been growing to love. Again, like 7 Star, very different. Mythology-driven lyrics this time around. But to me, this has some of my most favourite gems in the Tony Martin period. Dehumanizer, the Black Sabbath album that Tony Martin was originally going to be a part of. But obviously it didn't happen. So this is still a great album, and I still think that this is more of a favourite, if not a bit more than Mob Rules. Mob Rules is great as well, but I really enjoy a lot of this album. Cross Purposes, which is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated, awesome album. The second to last for Tony Martin. And Forbidden, the last Black Sabbath album for a very long time. And this CD came with the CD-shaped cellophane sleeve. I don't see this album as a bad album. I do defend this album, but it is my least favourite. Had some good stuff on this, but the major flaws were very noticeable. 13, the last ever studio album from Black Sabbath. The Vertigo label as the disc. I still think this is an awesome album. I understand the criticism of the production from Rick Rubin, and with the whole controversy of no Bill Ward, but that's old news to this point. Just enjoy Black Sabbath as they were at this point. And I went to see Black Sabbath at this tour was an amazing experience. First and only time. So I got lucky. This is a random newer addition to the collection. The single jewel case version of Master of Reality. I decided to add this one to the collection because I thought it would be nice to join in with the other single disc versions. You can see Black Sabbath's logo and the album name that's embossed. So that's really cool. Now onto the digipacks. Here is the first album. Beautiful production and design on these artworks, to the booklets. The second disc has bonus tracks and studio outtakes and instrumental versions. Here's one of the first Black Sabbath albums, Past Lives, that I remember getting to grow my admiration for the band. Just a random selection of live tracks, and Sabbath live just sounded phenomenal. Sometimes live versions can be better than the album versions. Now this is not digipack, obviously. This is another new addition, Live Evil. The whole album squeezed into one single disc. And here is the digipack. I am going to be buying the now newly released 40th anniversary box set of this live album. By the way, I do have Live at Last, but unfortunately I couldn't find it. I have it on vinyl, by the way. That was another one that I have just remembered. But anyways, really good live album. Here we have The Eternal Idol. The second disc contains the Ray Gillen sessions, which is very, very cool. One of my favourite digipacks to the collection. And now I will show you the two latest digipack reissues. Here they are, the newly released digipacks of Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. The cellophanes contain the hype stickers, so pretty much very simple designing. The Heaven and Hell one is gorgeous. I love that they decided to include the Japanese sleeve as part of the design. Neon Knights single artwork and the Die Young single back there. The second disc contains bonus tracks and live 7-inch edit B-side version of songs to a live gig in America and one in the UK. And here is Mob Rules once again. Same hype sticker as before, so get that out of the way. Some people say that this is a heavier Sabbath album than the previous one, which I do agree. The Mob Rules artwork. And here's another one there. Again, just like the Heaven and Hell one, the second disc contains the ever-growing part of the Live at Portland concert. And the first disc has the bonus tracks of the new 2021 mix of the title track and Hammersmith Odeon London show to the first part of the Portland show. Now on to the records. Here are the records. By the way, guys, I don't have every single Black Sabbath record on vinyl yet, and the Tony Martin ones are mega rare, especially with Headless Cross, and there's no chance of me buying an original pressing of Forbidden and also Cross Purposes. So this is what I have. Bear with me. But let's move this camera up a bit. There we go. Here is the self-titled album. This is an original pressing with the Vertigo label. And the gatefold sleeve has the upside down cross and Ozzy's name spelled incorrectly, because it's pronounced as Ossie, like its misspelling is O-S-S-I-E. And this still plays really, really nicely. If you want to have a look at these pressings, by the way, have a look at Discogs, which I highly recommend. If you want to look at various pressings and buy records from there and CDs, etc. Here's the Rhino reissue. And yes, I stupidly covered some of the artwork with that hype sticker. This pressing contains the Wicked World track, and it doesn't have the Evil Woman cover like the original has. This is with Warner Brothers involved as well. Paranoid. This is a later pressing through this record label. This pressing was released, I think, in '76. Gatefold sleeve. Black Sabbath's Master of Reality, again embossed. This is a pressing from 2015. I bought this after I spent the time inside the 50 years exhibition, which was absolutely awesome. And this is what the side looks like. So it's all black, and the other side's Vertigo. And these reproductions are really nice. Let's fit this back in. Volume 4, again, a reissue, so not an original. This doesn't have the very cool made booklet like the original has. But here is the original pressing with the Vertigo swirl label. Sabotage. I don't have Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, by the way, and I do apologise. This is an original pressing, and it's on the NEMS label, but this features the Ball on a Jug hidden track, and I bought this on Discogs, which is absolutely brilliant. Played this, and it sounded just as great. And yeah, I did buy this original pressing when it came out. On the exact date, September 23rd, 75. Here is a different but not as well cared pressing of Sabotage through the NEMS label. It was really disappointing. So I bought this first, And then there was another pressing, but again, the other one is an original American pressing, but that's got a crap load of scratches. This one does, unfortunately. So that's why I bought this original UK pressing, which is absolutely awesome. Technical Ecstasy. This is another original pressing. These original Sabbath albums through the Aussie era don't really sell for like a lot of money, but you know, with some people on eBay, they can be, you know, greedy assholes. Never Say Die, original as well. And I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the artwork of the soldiers over there in sky. You can't really see it properly. Well, a little bit, but not much. Heaven and Hell, another original pressing, and it played beautifully. Here we have Mob Rules. Really great sounding album as well on vinyl. Again on the Vertigo label. I don't have Born Again or Seventh Star on vinyl yet. But here is one of the other later albums that's been pressed to vinyl original wise. And this is The Eternal Idol. This sounded lovely when I played it. But this was the most expensive that I have purchased, and I'm not saying how much, because the Tony Martin Sabbath albums do not sell at cheap prices. This is Tear through the IRS record label, founded by Stuart Copeland's brother. Here is 13. It's a gatefold sleeve, double album, and Black Sabbath were once again back to Vertigo after IRS was shut down. Here is the end. I remember this moment very well. I wasn't at this show because, as I said earlier, I went to see Sabbath on the 13 tour, but this is the last ever show in Black Sabbath's history recorded, and it was something to remember. So 6 sides of live recording. Really pleased to have this in the collection. And despite that I do have Live at Last that I totally forgot to show in this video, that's all that I have for Black Sabbath on vinyl at the moment. Now onto the box sets. Here is the Volume 4 Super Deluxe box set. These contents in these 3 are superb, and I don't have the Paranoid one once again yet, but I will buy it eventually. This box set contains the remaster, the first disc. Second disc is the outtakes and new mixes. CD3 is alternative takes with false starts and studio dialogue, and the fourth is the Live in the UK live album. So that's really cool. But this is my favourite Black Sabbath box set out of the ones that are released. Sabotage. The live album of this is probably my favourite Black Sabbath live recording ever. Just like the other one, remaster from 21 on the first CD. The second CD and the third CD is the live American Tour 1975 show. And the fourth CD is the Japanese single with the single edit of Am I Going Insane, Radio, and Hole in the Sky. I've played this box set quite a lot. Well, the live album, because it was monstrous. Here is the Super Deluxe box set of Technical Ecstasy. The first disc is the remaster from, again, 21. The second CD is the new mix, remixed by Steven Wilson, except the mono single for It's All Right. CD3 is the outtakes and alternative mixes, including an instrumental mix of She's Gone, again remixed by Steven Wilson. And the fourth CD is the Live World Tour 76 to 77. I will say it's money well spent, but I suggest that you guys should buy these things online than inside the store, like HMV, as I've ranted about their heavy overpricing. But anyways, these are the box sets that I have, and I hope there will be more to come in these phenomenal reproductions and these beautiful remasters. And last but not least, the T-shirts. So this is the Paranoid artwork that we all know. And some people say that this album cover is one of the worst of all time, because there is another different version of the artwork which is better, but yet they decided to select this artwork. Here's another one, Black Sabbath logo with the band members. There you go. You can see Tony Iommi a bit better there. And there is another shirt inside this one, so I'll take it out for you. Well, this is not really Black Sabbath, but this is the logo of Ozzy Osbourne's name, which is really nice still. Rock and Roll Rebel Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt. So another different thing that I thought I would display right here. The next one is the two pilots from the Never Say Die artwork. I bought this because I actually do like the artwork of the album. Different Black Sabbath font. And again, there's another shirt on the inside, which I will display right now. The very simple shirt of the Volume 4 artwork. Not in the black colour like the artwork, obviously. But since Black Sabbath's Volume 4 is one of my favourite album covers from the band, because of simplicity, I thought I would just collect this. The next one is this t-shirt that I have bought when I went to see Black Sabbath. That's the front, and here is the back. Both Birmingham shows, the LG Arena and the NIA. I have a lot of nostalgia with this t-shirt. Obviously for Black Sabbath Live, but this was an opportunity that I just could not resist to look back and to see one of the greatest ever bands of all time live. Here is the other shirt, Black Sabbath World Tour 78 designed t-shirt. Very simple, but it's still absolutely nice. Still in great shape, just like with the other Sabbath shirts. And with that being said, guys, that is my Black Sabbath collection. I do have the t-shirt of the Sabotage album artwork, but it's in the wash, unfortunately. But you know what it looks like. And I am really glad to say that the collection of Black Sabbath will be growing even more, and maybe in the future, I don't know, I could possibly do a new updated look of this collection. And to any Black Sabbath fan out there who loves what I've displayed so far, thank you very much. You are amazing, and stay supportive to celebrate the legacy of one of the greatest bands of all time. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.